today we are going to do a little more focus on strength and control, and then also view a little bit of our side lying, just so we can get an initial view of our position there. Again, the focus with these first 4 videos, I really want you to go back to that first video, think of your breathing, your transverse abdominis activation, pelvic floor, your tilt, so your different spine positions, and then even moving on, we've got our neutral, imprint, and we know that C curve now. So keeping all of this in mind as you move today. And then you are definitely ready to get on with other videos and just keep practicing. All right, let's start lying all the way down. And again, if you have slippery socks, put them on. We are doing some leg slides and arm slides today to prep. So roll yourself all the way down. Feet can be hip distance apart. Shoulders down and back, lengthen through the crown of your head. Think of your chin tucking into the chest. Imagine that you're holding maybe an apple under the chin. So we're not crunching in, but you have that space. Start breathing into the sides of the ribs. Exhaling, knitting the ribs together. Already start finding that neutral pelvis, tailbone down. Your triangle is nice and parallel. As you exhale, that triangle is drawing in, and we're pulling those lines in towards the spine, or you think of your belt line. Let's take the legs together. Reach the arms up to the ceiling, palms facing in. On our exhale, reach the arms and legs away. Maybe your feet stick because you don't have slippery socks on, like me. Inhale back. Exhale, reach away. Keep drawing the ribs down. Tailbone stays connected. Inhale. I have space in between my shoulders. They're gliding down and back. Let's go for a last 2. Last one. Bring it in. Arms down by the sides. We're going into toe taps. You can imprint the spine, finding a little bit of tilt back. So posterior, tailbone stays down. Inhale, one leg to tabletop. Exhale, 2. Either hip distance doing single leg toe taps, or you bring the legs together and both tap down. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Keep the shoulders down and back. Pause here. We're going to bend and extend the legs. And again, higher, less tension on the back. Lower makes it more difficult. So only do it if you're not feeling tension in the back, and you can keep the ribs connected and keep your spine connected, whether you're in your neutral or imprint. So exhale, reach. Inhale, pull to tabletop. Maybe you're reaching up here. That's fine. You get a stretch in the back of the leg, and you're focusing on keeping the tailbone down. Exhale. Inhale. For 7, 6, 5, 4. Come in. Lower one leg, lower the other. We're going to see our ab curl today. So learning to lift from the core and abdominals and not lifting with our neck. Okay, this takes some practice. You'll get used to it. We're going to take the hands behind the head, lengthen through the crown of the head, slightly nodding the chin. So make sure you're finding that space, that spring is pulling the head up. Arms out to the sides with those elbows bent. Feel like you're creating that space behind the shoulder blades. We inhale to prepare. As we exhale, we curl up. Inhale as we lower down. So as you exhale, curl, imagine drawing from the ribs. And the head, neck, and the chest are lifting as much as you can in one piece. We're still tightening through the deep abdominals. Here with the feet down on the floor, you can maintain a neutral spine. Now, this is your ab curl 1 with the feet down. To go into ab curl 2, you can choose to lift one leg, lift the other, squeeze them together. So from a tabletop. If this doesn't work for you, you keep the feet down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go for 9 more. And now here, the feet are lifted. You can maintain neutral if that feels better. Or your spine is slightly imprinting down. Last 2. Last 1. Inhale, lower with one leg, then the other. And we are going to turn it over to our sideline. So for your sideline position, lots of different options. For beginner, I always recommend starting down with the head on the arm, either extended long, elbow bent, or if it feels better for you to have a little cushion that lifts, you would like to try to get the chest and shoulders and back as square as you can, so you don't want to feel like you're all crunched up, okay? So I like to have the elbow bent. Hand can be down on the floor or it will be on the hips. You want to line up your feet with your hips for our starting variations. Eventually you'll be able to extend the legs out on a diagonal towards the front of the mat. This will create a little more unsteadiness. So for more support, that bottom leg is bent under you. Now we want to think of our neutral spine. So of course, we don't want to be rounded into this C shape. We want to think of the natural curves in the spine. In this plane here, would our hip bones and pubic bone be nice and parallel? I can also here think of pressing my top hip away. I want to think of my hips being stacked one on top of another, and you'll see what happens. If this hip is pulled in, I'm collapsing into the side of the waist, my spine is curving. So I press that hip away. I actively use my core to feel like I'm trying to pull that bottom waist up. So I should find this nice long line. I'll keep my hand on the hip so that you can see as we move here. We're going to do a front kick. So we lift that top leg in line with the hip. So you try to lift up here. Lengthen the back of the neck as well. We're going to inhale as we reach the leg forward. Flex the foot. Exhale to reach back. Maybe you go past the midline. Squeeze the glute. Inhale. Exhale. Connect your ribs to hips. So we're isolating, again, that powerhouse from our hips to our shoulders so that we don't get any swaying. 4, 3. This one, hold. Point the toes, externally rotate up if you can. We're going up and down now. Inhale to lift, flex the foot, reach down. Now, notice the side. If I lift and I'm collapsing down, maybe I'm going too high. So don't worry about how high you're getting. Think of reaching away, find that external rotation. Inhale up, exhale to lower. 4, 3, for 2. Last one. Can you pause? Rotate the foot forward again so you're parallel. Point through your toes. Feel like you're reaching again from the crown of the head to the toes. Little tiny circles. 3, 2, 1. Change the direction. Just 6 in the other direction for today. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the leg, come in. We'll do the other side. And then we'll finish off with a little stretch. So again, line up, shoulders, hips, feet in that line. Press that top hip away. Square out the shoulders. Feel like you're trying to draw the bottom waist up away, finding that nice neutral spine. Lift the leg, hip height. Inhale, reach forward, flex the foot, reach back, a little bit past that midline. Inhale. Exhale. Don't mind Miss Penny. Think of your basics. Are you still keeping those connections with the deep abdominals, the pelvic floor? Where's your breath going? Expand to the sides. Draw the ribs in. As I lose my concentration when I'm talking, you'll notice that I do funny things with my foot. For 2. That's why we always use concentration and control. Last one. Keep the leg pointed out. Toes reach, externally rotate. We lift, flex to lower. Again, maintain the integrity of your spine, of your waist. For 6. The toes reach away, the crown of the head reaching away. You're getting longer. 2, 1. Hold. Point through the toes. Rotate to parallel. Little circles. Your brain will typically find the easiest direction first for 6, and then other direction. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Press yourself up. We're going to do a little mermaid stretch with a hip lift today. I'm just looking because my cats are doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. We're going to take the front leg. Well, okay, you can just mirror me. So what you want to think of, one leg coming parallel to the front, other leg parallel to the short end of your mat. Okay, this might not work for your hips. You can stack the feet under. So just think of a mermaid's tail going towards one side of your mat. We do want to try to keep the hips down. That's going to be our goal, and we're keeping them level. Taking one hand down, just up a little bit more in line with the knee. If you can, you might need to adjust. We're going to inhale, bringing the hand up, lifting the hips to get a little hip flexor stretch, and then exhale, side boots. Inhale up, exhale down. You can keep this down on the mat without the hip lift, and you can simply inhale up, exhale, reach. Feel like you're pressing the opposite hip away just to stretch through the side of the body, okay? Inhaling up, exhale. But I like to get this little hip flexor stretch. So inhale, press the hips up, exhale. Inhale. We'll do one more on this side. Inhale up, exhale. You can look forward, or if it feels okay for you, looking down. We'll switch to the other side. One leg parallel with the front, one with the side. Try to square the hips. One hand down, bring it a little bit more forward, in line with the knee. Inhale, lift, reach those hips forward. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. In. Out. Square the shoulders. Last one. Lower it down. All right, that was your 4th fundamentals and basics video. I will eventually be giving you more links if you want to learn more of these in a deeper way. But this is a good place to just get started and keep them in mind as you continue to move with intention. And don't forget to like and subscribe and continue following for new and upcoming